Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business here, and let's wake up the football gods here on this Football Thursday. Kinda. It's the Browns in Cincinnati, so does that count as football? But hey, it beats nothing. It beats nothing. So we'll be watching the game tonight and seeing what we see from Joe Burrow and see if Baker Mayfield melts down with Odell Beckham. Actually, it could be an audition for some other teams because Odell Beckham is rumored to not be on the trading block. You know, when a team says we're not interested in trading somebody, they're getting traded. They're getting traded. They are definitely getting traded. So that's just a way of trying to ask for more money. So this morning, Miss Jackie, shout out to Miss Jackie. How you doing today? She sent me a tweet, a copy of a tweet from Jonathan Tulls, who said, "I was told Byron Jones wasn't worth the 16.5 million per year, which is checks and notes 4 million less than what Ramsey got." Okay, so Byron Jones last week, 23 coverage snaps, allowed one reception for 6 yards, and wow, that sounds great. That sounds great. And now, of course, you got the uproar. Oh, we should have paid him, man. We could have done it. We got $28 million right now. Damn it. The Cowboys screwed up. Well, actually, you know what? Had the Cowboys gotten Dak Prescott's deal done, instead of paying $31.4 million this year, they could have actually probably ended up saving about, $10, $12 million right there. We could actually had $40 million, could have paid Byron Jones, and still had like $22 million left over to carry over to next year before the salary cap Armageddon. Right? Yeah. But let's pump the brakes because, see, there's stuff out there that becomes selective outrage. That number sounds great when you think about it. But let's change let's dig a little bit deeper. And most time people don't dig very deep. They go for the headlines and things like that, and they just get pissed off. And now Cowboy fans, man, we should have kept Byron Jones. Hold up. Here's the thing. Miami played against New England. New England, who was pass challenged last year. We're not talking about Julio Jones or DeAndre Hopkins out there for New England for wide receivers. In fact, I dare say that this offense is evolving more into a running offense where Cam Newton ran for 75 yards. He passed for a total. Let me pull up this because I want to make sure that I'm not giving you just BS here. Um, why are we acting funny this morning? Come on, give me the whole thing. Well, Cam Newton was 15 of 19 for, wait for it, a total of 155 yards, 15 completions. It's not like there were 30 or 40 completions that were going around. So by the time you take four cornerbacks or four cornerbacks, say two linebackers, that's six possible people that you're passing on, right? Six. If you divide that into 15, you're only talking about 2.5 passes to each of the players. And the average per pass was 8 yards. It's not like Byron Jones did anything spectacular in that game. Now, don't get me wrong. Byron Jones is a really good cover corner. I'm not disputing that. But to think that, going by that one game where New England has, is it 9 players that decided we're going to sit out because of COVID, where you have Cam Newton replacing Tom Brady, and you didn't bring any wide receivers in, and the offense evolved into more running game, well, that's a little different. And I'll say this much. What I saw from Diggs, the coverage, he was his very first NFL game. It wasn't like he was blowing assignments where he was getting beat left and right, where he didn't have the physical tools. On the plays that were completed against him, he was right there. He was close. He was in there. And I believe that in the long run, we're going to look back and say, yeah, Diggs is going to be a better option because at the moment, the step down, I don't think is that huge, but the cash savings where you're able to do something for the next few years is going to be huge. We'll see. We'll see. Before we go ahead and say that Byron Jones letting him go was a mistake, let's see Miami go against some better offenses and better wide receivers where he truly has to take on a number one wide receiver. Another thing Miss Jackie sent to me, which is kind of interesting. Skip Bayless and Undisputed got big ratings on Monday after Dak controversy. Surprise, surprise. Last week, Skip Bayless made, talking about, of course, Dak Prescott. Bayless found himself on the social media as a social media tempest. The crazy thing is normally it gets about 175,000 views. And they ended up getting like 319. So, yeah. But for comparison, this is where it's funny. Compared to First Take, which gets about 500,000, he's still way, way down. Yeah. So that's an interesting take. Skip Bayless knows controversy sells, and as long as they're clicking, hey, you got a job. So in some instances, I will say Skip Bayless, whose contract is up this month, was definitely looking for something to boost those ratings to try and help in negotiations. That is, if there is negotiations or if it's just going to be a Jason Whitlock situation where we just let him go. All right, so the Cowboys brought in a few players for tryouts and stuff yesterday. Apparently, Earl Thomas, still no meetings with the Cowboys. I know a lot of people are saying, come Monday morning, Earl Thomas is going to be a Cowboy. Earl Thomas is not going to be. Other people also said, go get Snacks Harrison. Snacks Harrison was not one of those ones that were brought in. And the Dallas Cowboys now, without Blake Jarwin, are a little bit short in tight end. And that worries me because tight end, is key these days. You understand that when you look at like the last Super Bowl champions over the last 5 or 6 years, you'll see that every one of them has a great tight end, a pass-catching tight end, be it Gronk, be it Zach Ertz, although Zach Ertz might be available. He's not getting much love in Philadelphia right now. But you look at Kelsick and things. You look at all Kettle. All of these teams that are mega teams offensively have a great tight end. Jason Witten was a great tight end, but Jason Witten had gotten old. Jason Witten's skills have eroded. He's aged. He's still a good tight end, but he's not one of those ones that you look at as a game changer. And we'd hoped that Dalton Schultz would become that guy. Unfortunately, we're going to have to wait another year. Excuse me, not Dalton Schultz, Blake Jarwin. But Dalton Schultz has the opportunity to. And then we have Blake Bell. Those don't seem like they're going to be game changers, but you never know until somebody gets an opportunity. Dalton Schultz has not really had that much of an opportunity with, of course, Jason Witten and then being behind Blake Jarwin. So it's possible, although the 3 drops didn't help last week. But let's see what we have this week. An interesting thought was Noah Brown. Noah Brown being coming in as tight end. Noah Brown, pass catcher, true. 6'2", 225 is a little bit on the light side for a tight end unless you're planning on him mainly being a pass-catching tight end or more of an H-back. H-back, if you think about Joe Gibbs when he came up with the one-back system, what he did was he took the fullback. Instead of having a lead blocker for John Riggins, he said, I'm better off with an H-back, which is kind of like a hybrid between a fullback and a tight end. And he ended up being usually to the right of the quarterback, kind of right behind the line, where you could use him to block or you could use him to go out, but he was not really, he was a tweener. He was in between type of positions. And so the thought would be is he could end up being kind of an H-back position tight end, because H-back really is a tight end. He's kind of tight end. He's kind of he's in the middle. He's just in the damn middle, and that's a possibility. But see, the thing I hope to see, I think we're getting Mike McCarthy killed right now, because everybody's saying, "Oh man, that just looked like Jason Garrett's offense." Well, here's the reality: with only 14 padded practice and OTAs, you don't just go ahead and say, screw everything. We're not going to do anything that we used to do before. We're only going to do this new stuff, because you didn't have enough time to really train and execute everything. You didn't. You didn't. 14 padded practices aren't enough. So what you had to do is you had to rely on what you know. And like it or not, Jason Garrett's offense is what they've known. At least it's consistent. You still saw Zeke for, 4 rushes, 4.4 yards per rush, 96 yards, okay? Not bad. And total of like 126 yards. You still saw Amari Cooper with 10 catches. You saw them being able to move the ball, not on third down as much as you'd like, but they were playing against a wrecking ball in Aaron Donald on a short offensive line. Connor Williams is coming back from injury. You had Steele, an undrafted rookie, starting at tackle, and Joe Looney now having to take over. So, there's not the consistency there just yet. So people are killing the Cowboys on the play calling. Well, when you have new personnel, when you have a lot of changes, you're going to rely on what you know. I look at the Cowboys beginning to open things up more and more as the season goes on. It's just there's not enough time to implement everything. You don't want to overwhelm everybody where you don't know what your assignment is when you're out on the field. So just relax, everybody. It's going to be okay, and we'll see what we're going to see. All right, y'all. It's Thursday, and I appreciate y'all being here. Make sure North Texas, now I can't think of it. North Texas Giving Day is today, okay? One of our great fans in here, Stuart Morrison, his dream to walk. Stuart Morrison is actually paralyzed. He's in a wheelchair. He is giving back and helping others with his charity. If you go through, so here's a day today in North Texas, it's 3,000 different 501 charities that are all doing great things in the community. And what they're doing is, this is the biggest giving day of the year, and they are offering, doing giveaways each hour to different charities. The only requirement is in each of those hours that you have to have a donation. The donation can be as little as $5. If you can help out, helping somebody else, hopefully to walk again, please do. Go to dream2walk.org and you can make a donation, or definitely check out my man's YouTube channel, Dream to Walk, on YouTube and stuff. Subscribe to it, okay? And it'll make you feel good, and it'll help somebody else at the same time. As always, thank you guys for watching the Joe Boo Sports Report.